Hey, some of the most popular videos on YouTube are talking about how to make a more straight on-plane takeaway. But everyone doing these videos is missing the most important piece of the puzzle. So right after this, I want to show you how you can much more easily make an on-plane takeaway that leads you into a nice on-plane swing, hit the ball longer and straighter more consistently. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve from HitItLonger.com. I would love to teach you how to hit the ball longer and straighter this year. Okay, so I see two major coaching points in other YouTube videos about the takeaway that may help some, but are not the crux of the problem. One of the things I see, a little more rarely, is I see them actually separating arms away from the initial, say, fist and a thumb measurement to the left thigh. And once I get to here, now I've got two fists and two thumbs away from the thigh. So that is one way, certainly, you could prevent yourself from snatching the club back way to the inside, which apparently is the enemy now, because guys on tour say that they can't get unstuck unless they make a perfectly straight or outside takeaway. So you see, becoming more popular is this up and out, and they think it's going to keep them from getting stuck. By far the most popular idea is the delay or the slowing, I can call it retardation, of the right wrist cocking back. Now, we know we want the right wrist to be cocked like this, like you're holding a tray of burgers or pizza at the top of your swing. This is the way you'd store up energy in that right hand. Snap the elbow and let that wrist go and give you lots of power in the downswing. But all we're doing, in order to make the club look like it's staying outside the hands like this, because sure, we don't want the club looking like this on the way down. That is a given. That is in big trouble right there, and we'd certainly rather have it lined back up with our target line if we had a laser beam in the butt of the club. And so what they will do is they will show you not to break the club this way and not to turn the thumb of the left forearm over like this. Those two actions by themselves would set the club right here. That's not too bad right there, except if you start adding the third piece that they're not mentioning. So what they want you to do is delay, 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 and now let it break up just so it can look good on video. But this has almost nothing to do with function, only because you're scared of getting stuck. And this doesn't have that big a correlation to getting stuck. So let me introduce the big missing piece here, and that is the axis of rotation of the hips and shoulders. It becomes virtually impossible to get the club to the inside or get stuck on the way down if your shoulders and your hips are turning with enough vertical in the wheel. So here is a swing that has mostly horizontal and very little vertical. And certainly the club is going to go back too far to the inside like this. Now, what they're saying to do by not mentioning this key point is put the arms away and slow down or delay the cocking of the wrist going back. Now look, the club head's back on the outside again beautifully. The problem is it's not really. You're just manipulating it for the camera. However, if I can tilt the shoulders more as I take the club away, instead of turning them more like a merry-go-round, if I can tilt them closer to a Ferris wheel. Now, of course, that's an image, that's not real, but I need to add more Ferris wheel, which would look more like this. Now we can do that. Even the right hip gets into the act by getting higher. And that's what we see in all the great swings, great classic swings, is the right hip is higher than the left, allowing the left shoulder to work downwards instead of around too much. Now watch what the takeaway does here. If I simply wind up a little bit more steep, like this, Now, I'm still cocking my wrists and turning my thumb, but all of a sudden the club is still just a bit outside the handle here. And I come down the same way. If I feel this left shoulder not getting high and coming around on a flat plane, but instead digging a little bit more low. Now, of course, I can't come out of that. I can't make a infinity sign out of my shoulders by going back this way and then dropping this way. You got to go back this way and stay on that same wheel on the way down, and the club will nicely fall into a beautiful unstuck position on the way down. Let's take a look at one. Again, I'm doing this. I'm starting to do this. As soon as the handle of the club reaches my right thigh, I'm starting to cock this up, cock that right wrist, turn this thumb over like this. But you're not going to see this club head go inside or be stuck on the way down because I'm turning the shoulders up on the proper plane. So if we look at that in slow-mo, editor guy, that club swings back nicely straight, going back in the takeaway, but it feels so much more natural and athletic, not trying to delay or reverse scoop the wrist or separate the arms and reroute them at the top. These notions are crazy. Take the club back, stop, swing down to the ball. Stop doing loops, as Mike Austin would say. Why on earth would you want to go all the way around the world just to go to the outhouse? It should be a straight line to the outhouse, a direct route. And that's what I've done here by controlling the axis, or what he would call the shoulder wheel and the hip wheel, this way more rather than this way. So if you want that club staying in front of you more, both coming and going, then don't forget this major point. This is going to make a big breakthrough for you if you've been struggling for this for a long time. You're not going to see that club go back so much like this anymore, and it's not going to come down like this anymore either. You're going to control so many things about your ball flight and strike. You're just going to love golf again. Keep one more thing in mind before I let you go, is that all the classic swings from Snead to Hogan to Nicklaus to many, 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 many more, to Palmer. This is the Mount Rushmore of golf other than Tiger. Their swings all went back a little to the inside. Bobby Jones way to the inside. And yet they didn't get stuck. None of these guys played stuck. Because what did they do? They might have swung the shoulder wheel back a little shallow, but then they dug. And they returned the shoulder wheel to where they could have had it going back, and the club falls right into place on the way down for them. So keep that in mind. The shoulder wheel. Remember, the shoulder bone's connected to the arm bone. It's that simple. Don't make it any more complicated, convoluted than it has to be. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm Steve. If you like this, head over to my website, hititlonger.com. You're going to find hundreds of more articles and videos and great endorsed products that I really love, that I'm sure are really going to help you with your golf game. And if I don't see you in the next video, I hope I see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.